Twinger, ladies and gentlemen, Marvel Rivals is real. We have a brand new Marvel game that we will all get to play this year. Yes, you heard me correctly, but we're breaking down all the details and literally everything that you need to know about the game in this very video.
Okay.
And if you guys do find the video enjoyable and informative, please take a quick moment and leave a like here on YouTube. It really does help out a ton. And with that in mind, let's dive on in. So the first question is obviously a natural one, and that is, what the heck is Marvel Rivals? Well, essentially, it is a 6 versus 6 hero shooter PvP game. Now, obviously, if you play these types of games, you'll immediately think of something like Overwatch or maybe Paladins, which, yes, this is essentially if you took Overwatch and then you put in Paladins and then you sprinkled a little bit of the Marvel Universe up on top and blended it all together in a smoothie, you'd end up with Marvel Rivals, which, to be quite honest, sounds like a pretty good smoothie, because that sounds like a good combination of things to put together. Now, from a storyline perspective, it does sound like the game is almost going to be inspired by kind of a Secret Wars type idea, where essentially it's just a bunch of villains and heroes fighting, and their justification for it is because, well, two Doctor Dooms are trying to take over the world. In fact, they said the following on their official website. The merciless clash between the tyrannical dictator Dr. Doom and his future counterpart from the year 2099 has forced countless universes to collide in the time stream entanglement, creating new worlds and crises unknown. Now, superheroes and villains from across the multiverse must fight together and against one another as disparate groups each seek to best both Dooms before one achieves domination of these realities. Familiar faces become newfound foes, while former enemies become the greatest of allies in Marvel Rivals. So obviously the story is probably not going to be the reason why you're going to be playing this. Like, if you're the type of gamer that really enjoys video games mostly for the story, I think that this is one that you could skip. However, if you really enjoy PvP experiences and if you like the online competitiveness aspect, I think that this might be tailor-made for you. Now, I know you might be wondering, when will I actually get to play this game? Well, there's some good news on that front, because they will actually be hosting a closed alpha that you could sign up for right now on their official website, and that will supposedly be going live sometime in May. So that is just a couple months away, being able to actually get our hands on this game and actually getting to play it. Now, during this playtest, as of right now, from what I understand, it has been confirmed that 12 characters will be playable, but fear not, because the current roster already stands at 18 different heroes. Them being Black Panther, Bruce Banner / the Hulk, of course, Doctor Strange, Groot, Iron Man, Loki, Luna Snow, Magic, Magneto, Mantis, Namor, Penny Parker, who is of course wearing the Spider or SPDR suit as well, Rocket Raccoon, Scarlet Witch, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Storm, and the Punisher. So that is already a pretty exciting and eclectic set of characters for the most part. I think that this is a really nice, I guess, starting point. It's kind of crazy to think that this game may very well launch with at least 18 characters right away. That's definitely pretty exciting, but there are people that have been continuously leaking information around this game, and they have pointed out that they have pretty concrete sources that tell them that Moon Knight, Thor, and Doctor Doom himself, who seems to be the big bad guy of this universe, are all going to be playable characters after launch as well. So that is pretty exciting to look forward to, a possible roster of
Battle Pass
characters. Now,
Battle
of course,
Pass
as this game was announced, there was a lot of people saying
every
so
play
that,
out
hey,
of the
it looks a
Overwatch
lot like
playbook.
Overwatch, or this is pretty much Overwatch with Marvel. I would say yes, I definitely do see the comparisons, and the similarities are quite obvious. However, I do like that they are also going a little bit their own way, with a few different elements confirmed to make this game feel a bit different to things like Overwatch. First and foremost, of course, it is third person instead of being first person, which I think is a major W. In addition to that, they also showcased a destructible environment, which I think that for a game like this could genuinely be very interesting, and I've not seen something like it for these types of games. essentially being able to like destroy this bridge right here, for example, as Black Panther, and maybe now create a brand new choke point that the enemy team has to circle around because they can no longer use the bridge. I think that that's a really interesting concept, and I think that it could open up some very interesting moments from a gameplay perspective.
Yeah.
And speaking of gameplay, they showcased that they would also offer something called team up moves, which look very dynamic and quite cool as well.
This part
essentially
is
allowing
awesome.
you to team up characters and deliver more powerful moves. We see Rocket land on Groot's shoulder and deliver
Now you're gonna have
very
your
cool
meta combos
special
like
attack.
pharmacy.
We also do see a team up between the Hulk and Iron Man. We also do get to see a team up between Namor and Luna Snow, where essentially Namor has these kind of sentry turrets that he gets to place down in the form of like octopuses that shoot water, kind of like Torbjorn, I guess, in Overwatch. But instead, once he's powered up with Luna Snow, those turrets now have a freezing blast ability, which I think is a really cool concept, and I think that this could be something that will make
Slows
the
them down.
gameplay super duper dynamic.
Yeah,
Trying to
that's
come up
sick.
with unique combinations that are super effective against enemy teams is going to be an absolute blast, or at least I hope so. Now, you might be wondering, what platforms will this game be playable on? As of right now, this early closed alpha that will be taking place for the game is going to be on PC only, which means that yes, you're going to need to get either the Steam launcher or the Epic Games launcher and utilize the code that hopefully you receive for the alpha and play from there. I also do want to go on ahead and mention that you do need a pretty hefty PC to run this game. It is definitely not one of those games that will run on just about every machine. It certainly looks like it's going to require some powerful machines, as well as 70 gigs of space to download the game, which is kind of astounding. But in addition to that, of course, there's then discussion of, will the official game, the
70 gigs is pretty standard these days, man.
full release for the game, will it actually release on any other platform? As of right now, there's absolutely nothing official that the game will be available on anything except for the PC. So as of right now, that's the only platform of release. However, there were rumors that it might be released on mobile. I don't think that that will be true anymore now that we've seen the specs that this game requires to run well. I just don't think that mobile platforms would be able to support that. I don't think that this game will be coming to the Switch for that same reason. But I do suspect that there's a very good chance that a game like
Switch
this
2
will be announced to have console support. However, most likely only on the PlayStation 5 as well as the Xbox Series X. Once again, it does look like a game that will actually require quite a bit of heft when it comes to the hardware required to run it. And so that was a bit of a bummer, but on the positive side of things, this game is free to play. So that's exciting. Of course, at least for some people, I know that obviously when you hear free to play, a lot of gamers kind of get like, whoa, okay, well, how are they going to monetize it? And is it going to be predatory? And is it going to be insane? Again, I guess time will tell how crazy they are with it, but obviously the fact that it's free to play is exciting because it means that there is nothing for you to lose in terms of being able to just try the game. So I think that that is definitely pretty cool to hear. In addition to that, there have been confirmations from those same leakers that pointed out that there might be new characters being added, like Moon Knight, as I mentioned before. They've also pointed out that they've personally heard that there is a Spider-Punk skin available in the game, and that there will be a President Loki skin available in the game, which sounds awesome. And again, I'll say this much, like if the game is really fun and is really well made and runs well, I don't think that we as gamers have a problem with them monetizing it using the cosmetic side of things.
Well, depends on
next, I wanted to just go through a few rapid fire details that I thought were really cool to point out for you guys. So first and foremost, let's kick things off with probably the fact that you heard Spider-Man speak in this trailer.
We all love saving money, but when you're paying as little as 33 cents a day on
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yes, that is Yuri Lowenthal's voice. So the Insomniac Spider-Man will be returning, or sorry, the voice actor for the Insomniac Spider-Man will be returning to voice Spider-Man once more. So that is obviously pretty exciting. The game as of right now does not have any sort of plans for a PvE mode. So if you're one of the people that wanted to hear some sort of news about that, as of right now, this
Just
will
don't
be a
hold your
pure
breath.
player
Don't
versus
hold your
player
breath on
experience.
PvE.
There's also some interesting news about the maps that will be featured with the game. As of right now, again, this is something that is confirmed via the trailer itself, but then in addition to that, just simply people who have supposedly played the game and have leaked some of the information. And so apparently one of the maps, which seems to be the one that is most prevalent in the trailer itself, will be titled Odin's Vault, and it will feature essentially one team trying to deliver the Stormbreaker weapon towards Odin's Vault, while another team is trying to make sure that that does not happen. So obviously, again, kind of that payload delivery system that we have seen in many games, including, once again, Overwatch. The other map that is rumored to be included is that of some sort of a Neo Tokyo, or maybe a futuristic, more futuristic than usual version of Tokyo, because it is prevalent in a lot of the images that they've been releasing, as well as the trailer itself. So it is kind of a safe bet to assume that that will be another map. But then the third one is a very exciting one, which will supposedly be a Spider Island themed map, which should be pretty freaking awesome to see how they implement that into the game. Now, at the time of recording this video, there are 3 confirmed classes for this game, them being the traditional classic support class. Then you have the DPS, which is pretty much your damage dealer class, the one that's able to output tons and tons of damage, but tends to not have a whole lot of health. Now, on the flip side of that, the third form, or the third class that will be available, is the tank class.
Oh my
will be
God,
able to take tons of damage and try to defend the rest of your team. Now, my hope is that they continue this in terms of a balance approach with this game, because you don't really want to release too many DPS characters or too many supports or too many tanks, and you do also want to make sure that each one of the classes kind of fulfills their role, instead of having issues where, let's say, one of the tank characters is just so overwhelmingly better than all the others that there's no point to play anything except for that one character.
Yeah.
So the balancing side of things is definitely going to be a problem, I think, but I do like that as part of the trailer, we can clearly tell that the characters like Bruce Banner, for example, he has very little health when he's Bruce Banner, but then when he hulks out, his health jumps up all the way to 900 HP. I think that that's really cool that they are paying attention to those details. Hopefully they're smart with how they balance the game, and they learn from games like Overwatch so that we as players have the best possible experience.
Yeah.
And the final piece of it.
Let's talk about that. Overwatch. How do we not repeat the same mistakes? Stop putting in new characters every season, thinking that's the solution to making the game better. Because when people are confused with so many options, they literally just start blaming each other, and then you're asking for a toxic environment. So keep it simple. Give us maps. We just want new maps. Everybody, and good maps, not just something that gets thrown together last minute. Well thought out maps that people enjoy playing competitively. Trying to think of what else. I mean, you're always going to get microtransactions and stuff, but please just don't make it pay to win, and don't make the first the new character, because you're going to give us new characters. This guy already talked about it. But when you do have new characters, don't make them so overpowered that nobody has anything else to play, and then nerf it later. It's stupid. We hate it. It ruins the game. Just fine-tune them before you release it.
Information that I wanted to point out is the fact that they seem to be committed to the idea that this game will have seasons and
have a beta server,
huge roadmap after release, because on their official website they say the following: the Marvel Multiverse brings infinite possibilities. Each seasonal drop will introduce new superheroes to the battlefield, along with challenging and diverse maps. Unlock new content to implement across various gameplay strategies while experiencing thrilling action and endless possibilities in these adventurous team battles. So obviously that all sounds pretty freaking awesome. I really do hope that the maps is something that is released for everybody. I don't particularly mind if they do end up going the route of charging for heroes, or at least having you play to earn the unlock of those heroes.
Yes,
Just because,
play to
again,
earn.
since the game is free to play, it makes sense that they're going to need to have some
No,
way
do
to
a battle
actually
pass, play to
monetize it.
earn.
As long as it's not a case of, hey, the newest hero is the most powerful by far, and it pretty much becomes pay to win, I think that things will be a-okay, and I don't think that players would mind necessarily having to pay for the characters. But let me know what you guys think. Is Marvel Rivals something that you will be checking out? Is this a game that you are excited now that you've heard and learned everything that I broke down for you during today's video? Of course,
Or
in
if
addition
you're
to that, don't
intense,
forget
how
to
about
leave
like a
like.
monthly
Thank you guys
subscription
so
to the
very much for your
competitive
support.
league?
I will hopefully catch you guys here on the next one. Peace out. See you later,
Just a thought.
alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.